Legs and all. Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining in today. I've got my amazing client Fran here, and if you haven't met her yet, I don't know where you live, obviously not in West Auckland, because she is like the best midwife ever. I know, you said I wasn't allowed to tell people all about that, but I'm telling you now, she is the best midwife. So if you are looking for a midwife, here's your girl. But anyway, we've got some really exciting stuff that we wanted to comment on today and give you guys hopefully some information about surgeries and when you get knee replacements and hip replacements and all of that. It's really scary, and a lot of women end up actually not coming to a gym. No. So what ends up happening is those joints really start to seize up, and before you know it, your range of motion is gone and things just go backwards. So Fran, say hello to everyone. Look at that little thing up there. There she is.
Hello.
So 12 months ago we started training, so you came back into the club. Now I've trained Fran probably about 10 years ago. I know, we still look young, don't we?
We do.
We still look young. And she popped up and said, Ursh, I'm back. And I was like, what? Fran's back in the house, what are we doing? She said, I've had surgery. So can you explain what surgery you had, and you know, like, why did you go and have the surgery, and then why did you opt for the second surgery? So anyone that is looking at having surgery, or especially hip surgery, we're going to discuss today.
It first started about 4 years ago when I started to feel pain in my right hip. It progressed over about a year or so to the point where I was on pain relief at least 5 to 6 times a day. I was on 3 types of pain relief. I was in so much pain that I couldn't do anything. I would cry. But anyway, so I decided that I needed to go and see somebody.
Can I just ask, because a lot of people are obviously, when they're taking painkillers, you're on 3 different types. Did that not send warnings to you that something's severely wrong for you to have to take 3 lots of painkillers?
Yes, but I was one of those martyrs that decided that I would keep going because I was still working full time and I had mums and babies that needed me more than I needed myself. And so I decided that actually I came second.
Yeah,
and so taking pain relief was my way of coping to get to work, to do what I needed to do, and then I could come home and crawl into bed.
So in hindsight, and we all know that you're Superwoman, which is why we get on, if you were to recommend to someone, when would they go and speak to someone about how bad the pain is or what you can do to fix it? Like, you got to 3 different types of medication for how long? 6 months?
Oh, probably 18 months.
18 months in agony. What would you say to people now? Like, what would be the warning signs that they should get it fixed rather than rely on the medication? How soon? What signs would you be looking for?
Getting fixed is really hard because if you're going to go through the public system, then they won't look at you until you're nearly 95. If you've got medical insurance, you're better off. That comes in different types though, because my husband had his hip joint replacement. He had hip joint groin pain. I didn't get groin pain. Mine was leg pain, and so I didn't know. No pain, and it went all the way down to my ankle, and I did not know that that was actually my hip giving out.
There you go.
So when I would normalise things. I would say, oh well, look, I've got a sore knee, or I've done too much, or something else. So I would normalise things for a long, long time until it got to the point where actually I then had to take Panadol every 6 hours to start with, and then once that wasn't doing anything for me, then I went to the doctors and said, look, I'm in a lot of pain and it's down my leg, and they then sent me off for different things because they didn't know that it was my hip giving out. So that took a wee while, and then by that point in time I was on Brufen and Panadol, and then when those 2 didn't get, I got up to Tramadol, and even
she's a druggie.
I know, I've got drugs for Africa. Even that did not take the pain away. It lowered it to the point where I could work, but it didn't take it away. I was never pain-free.
So I just need to say to all those people that are taking 3 lots of medication, especially pain, that's putting a huge amount of pressure on your liver, right? Just to detoxify all those chemicals, that's huge. So weight loss. I know that might scare a lot of you. If you're putting on weight, that could be one of the reasons that you need to get to the GP and get that sorted out. So you went to the GP, you had that first surgery. So why did he say you needed surgery?
My right hip was bone on bone at that point in time.
So there you
there
go.
was nothing in between my hip joint and my pelvis.
Yeah, so that's
And
a
so
lot of pain, eh?
I was actually in surgery within 10 days of him seeing me.
So did you have to go public or private for that?
No, I was private because I
Straight
had
away?
medical insurance.
Okay,
And
so
that's the only reason
You got
I
it?
actually had hip joints
Replaced.
at my age, because I'm still
There you go.
only a baby at 21 and a half.
that's right. 19, 21, 19, 21.
So otherwise I would still be waiting, but I had bone on my right
Yeah.
one. So I had surgery on the 31st of March.
Yes. And then after, so you had the surgery. We want to tell you that there was no rehab after that. So did you have any
No.
recommendations
No,
to
we
go
didn't.
to acupuncture, physio,
No.
go to a gym or anything like that?
None.
What do they provide you with?
Nothing. Pair of crutches, and the physio came in the first day, showed me how to get up and down stairs, and I was there for 2 more days, just walking.
Is this in the hospital
This
or
is
at
in the
home?
hospital.
It's in the hospital,
Yeah.
okay.
And then I went home on a pair of crutches. Now that's all the rehab that he suggested. I had 2 months off. Went
2
back
months
to
off work?
Yep.
So
2
there you
months
go.
off
So if
work.
you're looking at a hip replacement, you've got to be looking at least 2 months off.
I went
Which a
back
lot
to
of people
work
don't know.
and found that within a very short period of time my left hip started to hurt, and I still was hobbling on my left hip. And at that point in time I did a 6-week or 8-week, went back to him and I said, I'd like my second one done, please. And so I did it a year to the day exactly. I had my second hip joint done.
So a year ago, you'd had both hips done. What made you decide, so you've had both done, no one's told you to go to rehab, you've had a couple of sessions in the hospital with the physio. What made you come to a gym? Like, why, you know,
Because
what was scaring you enough? Because
I had so much loss of motion in both my hips that it was just, I felt like I was 95. I couldn't get up to the ground, I couldn't pick anything up, I couldn't tie my 2 shoelaces,
and that's really important.
It
Even the
is.
shoelace and your undies.
I couldn't even get my onto my undies. So I felt that if I didn't do something right now, in 5 years' time, my hips were going to be so stiff and there would be such a lack of movement that actually I couldn't do anything. If I had grandkids, I wouldn't be able to play with my grandkids. I wouldn't be able to do the gardening. I couldn't do anything that most people take for granted.
Can I just, I'll just show you. This was Fran on day number 1. So this was a bench. I said to Fran, just take a seat for me on a bench, right? So I'm just going to show you, this was her range of motion. That was it. And then we had to put 2 hands like that, and we would be in pain and her face would cringe up. In order just to be able to sit on a bench.
On a low bench.
Like on a, well, it wasn't really low, it's like this.
Oh yeah, okay.
But look at that leg today. Like we couldn't even lift that leg. Someone's having a baby. Someone's having
It's actually not going to go
someone's
for a
having
baby.
a baby.
We'll just
She
check.
is a baby, isn't it? Right, that's what happened. Don't you call her now and say you're having a baby. So what we've done in the last 12 months is we started with range of motion and we just used some gym sticks, and every week I'd catch up with Fran and would go through this. And she'd call me a bitch every single week. Like, be honest, you did. You did call me a bitch every week. And her face would turn horrible just from the pain. But I said to her on a scale of 1 to 10, you're not to go to a 10, and she'd go, I don't care, I'm going to a 10. Because she was so focused and so determined that she wanted to get full range of motion back in that hip joint. Her fear of not being able to move and being immobile or immobilised by another 5 years was so great that she actually worked through that pain against the wall. Remember when we used to do those little hip lifts off the wall and those
they
gym
were
sticks I
killers.
gave you to take home? And
Truly killers.
they're lovely, lovely.
You
Tell
were-
the people they're always lovely.
Oh, you were worse than a bitch. You were worse than a bitch. You were, oh God. Anyway.
We did a step-by-step program and it's taken us pretty close to a year, but now not only can you squat down on the floor, you can lift your knee over there, You're doing Sam's spin.
Yes, I am.
You're doing Sam's spin.
class.
Sam's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I am doing spin
Can
class.
you just we're just going to wrap this up, but anyone that's considering having surgery, what would your recommendation be to those people? Because we have a lot of ladies here that have, some of them have had hips, some of them have had knee, some of them are in pain. What's the best thing that you've done for you, or in hindsight, that you could help those people?
My hindsight is actually having my hip joints done. I have to say
Earlier.
that was the best thing out. Once I was out of pain, the second thing was getting to mobilise, and to rehab at the gym was the best thing that I could possibly do.
Even though it hurt?
It hurt like a bastard, but
True story.
now I can do exactly what everybody else does, and I don't have a lot of pain. I don't take painkillers. I go to work. Yeah.
She stands on the spin bike.
I stand up and down on the spin bike and nearly vomit, but I get there at the end.
Because she's stubborn.
Yes, and I am stubborn still. So yeah, rehab at the gym was probably the second best thing I've done.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you.
So-
Now, ladies, if you are looking at surgery, please take those into consideration, because rehab is a long time. Don't get mad at yourself. It is going to be a process, and it is a step-by-step process. And you think that you're able to do that amount of work, and it is little baby steps. So if you've got any questions about the hip operation, please pop them in the comments. What we're going to be doing next week, which is super exciting, is we're going to bring Fran in, and she's going to talk about babies. You know, baby stuff and hormone stuff.
Midwifey stuff.
So midwifey stuff. So if you've got any questions about babies, all that stuff, that's all I'm saying.
Having a baby inside and how to get
Having
outside.
a babies and all that. So if you've got any questions or anything in particular that you'd like to ask our expert Fran, please pop that in the comments. So we could do that weekly or once a month for anyone out there that is pregnant, wants to get pregnant, been pregnant, had the baby, all the people out there. If you've got questions, pop them in. What's your probably common question that most people ask you? Obviously it's not breeding. We're not starting that conversation, are we?
No.
Do you have a common one that mums ask or a pregnant woman asks? Is there like a common one?
Oh, please believe me, there are
So many.
lots of common questions.
Lots of common. So
Yes,
no
we do.
questions
No.
stupid, eh?
No.
No,
No
no
question
question
is
is stupid. Please pop it in the comments, and we'll do our best to grab Fran at 10 o'clock on Monday and see if there's any questions that we can answer you. Thanks guys for tuning in today. Give us a high five for my amazing buddy Fran, who can now touch the floor and squat, amongst other things that we're not allowed to discuss live, but we discuss in private.
No.
Yeah, no, we don't discuss that. Thanks ladies. Thanks Fran.
Thank you.
See ya.